Okay, let's consider another example here. This time we're going to deal with the SAT test. On the SAT test, the average score is 500 with a standard deviation of 100. And so let's ask the question here. A, what percent score above 580? Now the SAT test is divided into two parts. The writing part, the English part, and the math part. So when we're dealing with this score of 500, that's on an individual part. So we're talking on an individual part, whether it's English or math, what percent score above a 580 on that test. So the process still the same for any of these problems here. Compute our z-score first. So 580 minus 500 divided by standard deviation of 100. And that would just give me a simple z-score of 0.8. Of 0.8. Of 0.8. Then what we do is we simply go to our chart and look up a z-score of 0.8. Okay, go up to the chart and look up a z-score of 0.8. So we do that. We know our chart, z-score of 0.8. There it is, right there. Z-score of 0.8 corresponds to 78.81%. 78.81. So then take that number, 78.81, and use it to answer the question. We take our 78.81, and since this was the percent above, we're going to take that answer away from 100. Take that answer away from 100. So we just do 100 minus 78.81 and get 21.19. 21.19. Okay, so that is the percent that score above 580 on the SAT test. Okay. Let's consider a second question. What percent of people taking the test score between 420 and 600? What percent score between 420 and 600? So first we're going to compute our z-scores. You may want to pause the video and compute those yourself, just as kind of a little check to see how you're doing. So for 420, it would be 420 minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So I get a z-score of negative 0.8. And for 600, it'd be 600 minus 500 divided by 100. And so for that one, we would have a z-score of 1. Now we're looking for the percent between 420 and 600. So we have our two z-scores. So remember the process for between. We're going to look up the z-scores for each and then take those two answers and subtract them. So let's go up to our chart here. So we're looking for a z-score for negative 0.8 and for 1. So again, you may want to pause the video and see if you can work this out yourself. You should be able to see everything you need for the chart right there. And so let's go ahead now and work this out. So we see that negative 0.8, there we have a z-score. Negative 0.8 has a percent 21.19. And there's 1 hiding down there at the bottom, 84.13. So we have 21.19 and 84.13. And we're going to subtract those two. So we take our 84.13 for the z-score of 1. And we're going to subtract off our z-score for negative 0.8, which, let me just reconfirm again, is 21.19. 21.19. And then we just go to a calculator and make that computation. And so we get that it's 62.94. %. Okay, we have two final topics that we're going to get into that we'll talk about here in the next video. And so catch you in the next one.